Hey guys, I'm back. I know it's been so long. I'm sorry. I meant to do this almost daily and I've lost a few days. Um, there's been some stuff going on. Of course, everyone got things going on. We're outside the 812. I just did a little 3-minute teaser saying I'll be here soon. Big deal. Big deal. So I'm here, I'm back, I'm still going. Haven't had a shave? Yep, I'm sorry. I hate seeing it too. Makes me look really old. And yeah, look, maybe I am really old and I should look really old. Anyway, we're going. Today I'm indoors, so I'll be working and indoors. No fun, and I'll be unable to do this kind of thing because my hands will be so busy and involved. But I got news that my van, my bus is getting fixed. It's going to get a new transmission, new gearbox, and it's going to get I think a new flywheel, and I don't know what else, but they need to make it run because it's not running. It was stuck in first gear and that wasn't my fault. I suppose I'm glad it happened because you know, I was able to send it back to them, you know, whereas let's say I had the car for some months before that problem came, I'd be stuck with that problem. So in a kind of way, it was good to boomerang it back to them with that problem that I can't fix, like, and a very expensive problem to fix too. So really, the car shouldn't be sold with a problem like that. And yeah, so the dealer's wearing the problem and they have to fix it, so that's great. It's just bad timing now with this, you know, pre-Christmas, that I needed to have this thing going right now in order to be achieving some stuff now while I can before Christmas, where it's a bit of a rush period for us, where there's a lot of work to do. And so I thought, well, that's why I needed it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. There'll be other busy times. It's not the only busy time there is. So sometimes, yeah, you got to miss out on something. You got to miss out on some money. Hello, everyone, whoever's there. Sorry, I can't see great because it's a very white screen and it's a very white day. And they've the typing is in white, so I find that hard to see. Oi, but I can't see that, you know. Maybe use caps, guys, caps. Big cap letters. It's not rude to me. I like caps. Yeah, so all I've been trying to do lately is trying to include different points of view in one place, so that whenever, you know, we may be talking about a certain thing, I think what we need to do is open up to other points of view so that you shine some light in that shoebox, you know. Otherwise, you can be stuck in your own point of view for so long that it starts to make little sense unless it has some bearing on the outside or on the world around it. Like, you could have a point of view that's completely insulated from anything that goes on, but what would be the point of that? Like, yeah, a point of view needs to, like, isn't it that we're reaching for reality in some way, and that your point of view needs to have some truth to it, you know? And I know that it's a very rubbery, you know, flexible idea, the idea of true. Something could be true to one person and false to another, so we know that. So there is no point of view that can be got that would include everyone, and that view would coincide, you know? everything's great. I think things are as great as they can be. Everything's going good, yes, because we're all still here. And I started to realize that where I've been lacking is that, first of all, I made this commitment to come here every day and do this every day. And I had missed some days. And I don't want to come up with excuses why. There were times when I just felt like I just had 2 or 3 minutes worth of stuff in me, and I didn't know what else to do. And I suppose I got kind of overwhelmed a little bit, only because I realized that you guys who chance through here have a more reason to get to know each other, and that I'm not anything more than just, say, like a little node or a little mirror reflecting up there somewhere inside the grid of things, and I'm nothing more than just one more thing. But somehow, through this magic, this live magic, it brings everyone into one place, and they're able to like talk to each other. Whereas what I noticed that YouTube isn't a platform where you can like message and talk direct to someone, like message this account holder. It doesn't kind of let you do that. So on the channels where the comments are off, hey Megan, woo! Yeah, on the channels where the comments are switched off, it's very hard for the user to touch with the uploader, and it's also hard, obviously impossible for the uploader to have any kind of connection to their audience or their person who's watched their thing and wanted to say something. Like, although there are channels where people like write in, hey, I've got this thing, blah blah blah, and the person writes back kind of in a chat way, but there's no chat screen per se. Like, wouldn't it be great if they had that? Like, I always thought, wouldn't it be like, I know I've said it before, but I'd love it if right now Marty could pop up as a window like in the corner, and all you guys could be lined up and talk to each other like a big noise. That would be so awesome. And like, you could maybe just talk to a person if you wanted to, or not. Like, kind of if they did this live, sort of in a way like an IRC chat at the same time, where users can kind of meet each other, and that the chat room itself doesn't matter as much as the people in it. Because I always think the most important thing about this whole social platform that we got is that people are able to connect to each other, and that it wouldn't be a platform at all without the users. You'd need the users. Without that, there's nothing there. It's just a shoebox, empty shoebox, but nobody's putting their little button in there and saying, here's my button, here's mine, and in the end, you'd have a shoebox full of colorful buttons, and that's what I think we all are. Like, what I'd like is for people to try to understand each other, and as I also try to understand people, especially points of view that are difficult to understand or comprehend. And you obviously, because people are in different moods, different minds, different each person having a different view, that's gonna make for the world to look never the same, isn't it? Like, I mean, I could look out at this world and you could look out at this world, and we'd both have a different perspective of that same thing. So it makes you wonder. It just makes you wonder, what are we really trying to do? Are we trying to find out the truth, or are we trying to like, nah, we all know the truth, we just don't bother. We just don't want to bother really, is it one person trying to convince the world that they know what things are or what things look like and how they should be described? And I don't think anyone can really get to that point, and they don't want to either. No one is the person to make that judgment. So I think it's just allowing yourself to be analyzed, by somebody else, and have, I guess, accept the feedback as well. Sometimes we want confirmation from others, but we're scared of the feedback that will make us feel like we're not quite there. And of course, I don't think anyone should say, you're there, you're an ultimate champion of the universe. Who's going to tell you that except a crazy person? So isn't it that we're all on our way to where we need to be? We're all on our road to our goals. We're all doing our things, like doing our jobs, being in our relationship or partnership, but we're doing things in our way as we want to, and that's what's called making your own life, isn't it? Having your own connection. But I just thought of something, and I thought this would be it would make a big difference, I think. Now, in the same way that Marty and I could talk, wouldn't it be interesting if all the people that I knew also knew Marty too? Wouldn't that change everything? Let's say, I just gave an example of John and Fred, whoever John and Fred is. Let's say John and Fred are people I know. But how interesting it would make it if John and Fred knew each other and me. That minimizes the thing. It kind of equalizes it. Like if I say, oh yeah, I know John and Fred and Sebastian and Craig, okay? But wouldn't it be interesting if those four people already were acquainted with each other and I just had to be the next one, and that they all knew me, I knew them, and they knew each other? That would change everything. It would change the insular perspective. It would stop people from thinking, these are my friends that don't know each other. No, I don't think that's really getting it right. If all your friends that you have knew each other too, that would be an interesting world. That would be an interesting world. Because you'd be speaking from so many different points of view at once. You'd be speaking to John, who knows Fred, and they both know you. So anything you say to John or Fred could easily be the same thing that Fred and John speak about when you're not there. So it's like kind of, we need that interpersonal connection. That's what we're kind of lacking. And what I think that social media does, it gives you the chance to get known and know each other, know other people. Otherwise, you'd never find out who, like I've been listening to some people I've never heard of lately on the tube, and I got my recap. Do you guys get your recap thing, 2025? And my one said that I watched 436 channels this year. Wow, I thought 436 channels, that's at least more than one a day. Every day I must have watched a different person at least, because, 365 days a year, I watched 436 channels, so I must have been watching several on some of the days. Not to mention the hours spent. They don't tell you that. It'd be a little bit awkward, wouldn't it, to find out that you'd spent the best part of 40 hours a week inside the YouTube, not include the 40 hours you spent at work or the whatever hours left to sleep in. So no, it doesn't give you that picture. They called me a wonder seeker. Wonder seeker? Because I'm someone who looked at a combination of history, music, and like gaming and technology and media, kind of like that. They categorized my watching habits those ways, you know, and they said, this is a kind of person you are, wonder seeker, someone looking to discover, I guess, that thing. So that kind of works. They know me well, and they said, if you want, we've got an in-depth report about you. Did you see that? And I didn't get it yet. I thought I don't mind to find out what they know, because I don't know if you guys have had any play around with ChatGPT. I have, but it's not a bit. And just to find out what's known, what do they know, what is known. So I try to find out what they know. And there's a lot of information, really. They seem to have an idea of just about anything. So there are times when it will just give you a repeat information because it hasn't found anything more than that, but at least you know it's done that. And it has this ability to dig through archives and chats and saved things like on threads and dig up stuff, like, which I think is amazing, because no one could really do that. No one could really bring up an incidence of a certain thing. Hey, thank you. Oh wow, thank you. Diver Gent. Ooh, diver. Deep sea diver. Thank you. I love it. I love it as much as you do. I really do. I feel like doing this makes me come alive. It connects me to people. Otherwise, I don't feel who I'm supposed to be if I just were to sit here on my own, you know. And I've been open about that. I'm not a person who does very well on their own. Like, there were times when my family went away on a holiday kind of without me. Sad, but for some reason I had to stay home. I'm not sure why, but it makes sense in retrospect that it wasn't a good time for me to be out, you know, amongst others. And I have gone through those insular periods where I've withdrawn from a lot of what's going on. And I don't know if everyone does this sometimes, kind of you back away from all the things you've been doing, and suddenly you've just found contentment in not doing anything that you normally do. That is, like, let's say there were times when I always got up, went for a walk, and got pictures or videos of birds, like walking around, feeding, nesting, building nests, sometimes having a bit of a fight, or just, you know, hanging out in the park. You know, visiting the duck ponds. And I don't know, there were things where I thought, what would make this awesome is if people were with me rather than me by myself filming how nice this little stream with the ducks playing around in there. And so I'd made videos of things, but the real wish was not, hey, I'd love to sit here making videos. That's the last thing I'd like to do. It's not really on your list of things. It's more, I'd love to be sitting by the duck pond with someone and sharing this view. That's really what we wish to do, isn't it? Like right now, sitting in the room together, all of us, and just yakking away, all of us together. That's really what it should be. It shouldn't be just me here and all you watching me. It's not like that. I wish it could be bounced out in a way that, you know, Divergent and Marty could kind of do the same if they wanted. It would be an open thing. Like, you could press any face on the screen who's popped up right now and just say something to them. But I know that they don't want to allow the platform to be that reachy, you know, reachable, that you could. That's why I think they stopped the direct that there's no direct chat in YouTube, you know? Yeah, well, that's right. That's right. Being on your own is kind of lame. Like, there's only so much television you could sit and watch, you know? Before you wished you were sitting there watching the TV with somebody, because it's like, I've done this once, I don't know why. I've gone to the cinemas by myself. I've got to say, it's the most weird thing ever to go to the cinema and sit there on your own with your popcorn by yourself and enjoy the movie all by yourself, and then leave in silence, talking to no one about the movie you just watched. Don't you feel that when you are watching any kind of media, even a music video, it's so much more awesome? Like, for example, we'll watch Michael Jackson videos. We still do. But I don't sit there watching them by myself. Like, my kids love it. So we watch the video together and then do like dance moves and stuff. That's the whole point. You'd hardly sit there absorbing a music video all by yourself and just, it's not got the same magic as if the TV's on and you're with your friends in the lounge room and watching a music video. That's a total different thing. And they can't take away our need for each other. No matter how much they give us a million different bits of whatever we want to see, it just doesn't have the same meaning without the share button, you know? I love Michael Jackson. So yeah, that's right. Like, I'm trying to think of one where he's got a really good, I bet you can do the Billie Jean. I bet you can do that one. That's a good one. That's a cool beat. Billie Jean. And of course Beat It, but it's more of an electric drum kit, isn't it? Electronic. Yeah. Although I think Michael Jackson was such a good producer in a way. I know probably didn't produce everything, but he kind of did, didn't he? Thought of it, or he had the team around him. So it's a bit like how clever is Weird Al Yankovic, right? But he must have an awesome team to be able to put together those amazing reproductions, you know. Yeah, MJ, look, you can't deny Michael Jackson was huge. Come on, he was huge. Who didn't know Michael Jackson? Like, I mean, the reach of that person compared to some others, you know. I mean, then I always go to the big things. Whenever I think Michael Jackson, I always think of other things too, like Van Halen. Everyone knows Van Halen, you know, as well. Bon Jovi. You know, the big ones pop up, don't they? Prince, Elton John, you know, the big ones that pop out. Elvis, and that kind of leaks into that history point of view. You get those bands like Pink Floyd, of course. You know, you can't say they weren't world famous. And then, of course, there's always those artists that were deliberately on the fringe, you know, that were in there, but they weren't exactly a huge thing on their own. They were more interconnected with a scene or with a movement or with something. Like, there's been a lot of bands. Come on. There's probably been more bands than we could list on a thing and possibly have objectivity over. You know, think of all the different punk bands that must have come and gone too. Like, you know, but we all know Sex Pistols, and then there's other ones that maybe not everyone knows about, the Buzzcocks, or but everyone knows Green Day, for example. And then there's all these fringy punk bands, which of course probably weren't looking for fame anyway. Oh, I'm going to work. You like my car? It's a small car. Yeah. Well, today I'm working indoors, so I just go with my little car and park and pick up boxes and do all that kind of important stuff that has to happen. Yeah, but I always feel like whenever I get on the live, everyone knows everything I said before, so I'm reaching for a new thing to say without repeating myself. It's just probably the toughest thing to do, like not to repeat yourself because I always know when I've said something before, and I'll go, I've said this before, but, you know, because I always think the whole thing's up to now, like, and I maybe will never reach back to say an exact thing again, you know, because I don't think we're supposed to. We're supposed to move on through the moment, through the life, you know. We're not supposed to talk about last week forever, are we? We're supposed to talk about now and gradually get away from last week, you know. Last week was last week. But imagine everyone's last week was still a topic. We'd never have this week, would we? We'd still be processing last week. And this week would just be processing last week. Or we reach for a very controversial leap into the unknown, which is like to say, as my friend of mine told me, and I'm still trying to grapple with the idea, everything's happening at once. It's not that, it's just a different way of seeing time, that there is really maybe no time at all, but everything is just happening at once. And here we are trying to make sense of it by counting through the 60 seconds in a minute in our mind to attribute that. But there's obviously no causal link to that. Like, if I told you that at 1:30 p.m. on a certain day, ABCD happened. Okay, but I don't think the time of day or all those dates really matter. To the point of the story was what happened. That's okay, that's okay. Get ready. It's okay. I never stop you guys. Just do what you need to do. Yeah! You're gonna play a gig. That's awesome. I saw Billy. Oh yeah, Billie Jean. Sorry, I thought you said Billy Joel. Now, Billie Jean, that's the beat. That one. You want me to do the Corey Feldman noise? Thank you. That's all right. Oh, hey, good. That means I can come see you drumming, okay? Then I can find you too. You know, that's like kind of important. You know, that we find each other is the main thing. Really, that's all it is. It's not even that. Doesn't even matter if I was having a bad day or you were having a bad day. The main thing is we all got together and the day got better. That's what I think. Maybe the day wasn't clear enough before you had another point of view to add in, to say, okay, you know, I don't know. I don't have objectivity over myself that much, but I can try to have objectivity in my way, of the way I see things, and that's all I can really do. Share. Take care. Thanks for coming. Awesome. I don't know if Marty's getting ready for school. You're always getting ready when the sun's coming up, hey? Hope it's going well out there. You know, I've been thinking always about you guys, and I hope you're doing well together since you started your new adventure. And we want to know. We want to know all about it. Hope it's going well. And I hope you've been enjoying each other's company, getting to know all the different things about how to relate to each other. Something I think that never gets old. You've got to keep doing it, and sometimes you've got to refresh and re-establish your connection to a person. Like as I've noticed, if you stop talking, or if you go through a period of quiet where you say less and less to a person, it adds to a kind of estrangement that's very hard to break the ice to get back to, hey, how have you been, and you feel like you've really been lacking, or not there where you should have been, kind of thing. And I've noticed this in some of my relationships that I withdrew from, but not because I wanted to get away. It's just like I said, you find yourself just not being consistent in doing what you know is good for you. Keeping in touch with the people who love you, keeping an ongoing connection and purpose of knowing each other. And I don't know, I think we're maybe a bit lost in this world because there's millions and millions of people out there, and you get this sense that, of course, we're not alone. There's millions of people out there, but we can't talk to them all, and each of them won't find the time to, that's why I thought it would be amazing if all the people I knew already knew each other. That would add such a familiarity to things that you could, it just changes everything. If the people that you know each other, I just really do think that it would change everything. It wouldn't be a world of people who some know this person and some don't. It should be that each person who knows each person knows each other person too. Then you've got that missing link, that third eye, that third perspective, which you don't have. Like sometimes, let's pretend there's a couple, two people, a duo. Now they have objectivity a little over each other because they can see each other, but them as a twin soul, or as a couple, as a duo, as a friendship, without a third person's point of view, that thing can't be seen. Or what objectivity can you have over it without a third point of view? And sometimes I think that third point of view is something we invent, we come up with to obtain that point of view. Like self-knowledge, like knowing ourselves, for example, it requires you to think a little bit outside yourself, doesn't it? Like it's very hard to have a point of view of yourself in the world without trying to look out as if you were part of that world looking at you. So don't you think sometimes there's a bit of a barrier inside the mirror that doesn't even let you have the objectivity that you think you can get? Sometimes you can't, and it takes another person, a whole fresh set of eyes, to come along and change everything. Which is why I feel so much gratitude. I'm indebted to certain people that have come into my life, and I feel this magic from them just knowing me. That's all. I mean, we've never got to hang out and see each other for real life, but we've had some time to talk, as in chat, and get to know each other through the means that we have, yeah? And the person's helped me so much. I feel just blessed that the person's out there, and even if we don't hear and see everything each other does, but that doesn't matter. Just knowing that there's somebody out there that knows you, that thinks of you sometimes, that you have some connection to, all right, a lot of it's made up in our own minds, isn't it? Because especially, how do you talk about a relationship that just exists in your mind? Well, I mean, it's not something you could locate. We haven't been seen having coffee together, you know? Nobody's seen us together. That's never probably going to happen, probably because we're not in the same part of the world, for example. We're not even near, so it couldn't happen. Without the magic of this YouTube, without this live snapshot, I don't think anyone would get to discover who's out there at all. Like, so in a kind of way, I'm grateful to YouTube for doing this thing. I hope that they keep making it even more awesome than it is as well, if they can. I'd love it if people could, you know, talk to each other as well, like through this thing. It doesn't have to be through this thing, but there should be a way to do that. And I don't mean it to be like a WhatsApp, but a kind of a, through your connection, somehow you manage to make a new one. And I think that that should have its own little place that, I don't know, kind of like Threads. I don't know. I know they can do it. They're engineers. They know how to do all this computer stuff. They could open up 20 windows on the screen and you could mute someone if you wanted to, if they were carrying on, and just focus in on what that other person was saying. You know how like in the show, like in Piers Morgan, where they all start talking over each other, and Piers Morgan is just saying like, all right, okay, we've let you, and it's just a mess. But in those moments, you should be able to press on a person to mute them so that you can hear that other person's rebuttal. You know how they talk over each other in those heated debates, you know? And you wish you could hear what that person was just letting out at the end when Piers Morgan is cutting them off to bring them back to the point or something. And somebody's still carrying on. You want to hear what that last bit he said, you know? Because sometimes that's their best bit, that's their comeback or something, but Piers Morgan has talked over it. And in this case too, in a big, I don't know what you call it, all-in live, everyone live together at once, and all the windows jammed together, and people just having that argument. Like, but I think it'd be productive. It'd be fun too. Imagine just being able to pop up in front of people that you'd never get a chance to talk to. So I think that, I mean, if it weren't for this, I wouldn't be here, would I? Kind of thing. So I'm making my way to work. It's been pretty good. The progress has been great. We're just about getting there. This is when the view gets better, guys. I don't know if you want to have a look. There you go. So we're nearly there, and I'll be taking my exit pretty soon. Not yet though. This is the Balti Bridge. I know I've probably said that before, but we're going we're on a bridge now, and North Melbourne is underneath us, and Flemington, and I think it's Kensington is also below us here. And soon we will be on top of West Melbourne, and then soon we approach the Docklands. I don't know if you guys can see that big Ferris wheel in the distance there. It's a little bit white, it's hard to see with the clouds, but that's the Docklands where that big Ferris wheel is. No, the visibility is not fantastic today. It's very overcast. And now we're getting close to the Docklands now. and then I'll nearly be where I need to be. So I want to wish you all a lot of strength and courage in whatever you guys do. Be brave, be strong, keep in touch, try and make a connection today that you didn't have yesterday, and you'll feel more connected tomorrow. You know, this is something I want to suggest, even to myself. I want to suggest highly that even I take real steps to change and to become better. Because, to be honest, I always feel like I'm a work in progress. I've got a lot to do, and I'm not there. I'm not there yet, and I never will be there yet. And I think that I have to continually adjust, learn new things, make new connections, do everything I can to get beyond the limits of today, because there's always that day, the moment in the day where the day has told you the day is done, and this day has done all it can do. And you know you can't argue with nature. You can't say, no, I want the sun to come back up again. It won't happen. So I think we have to take our opportunities, take our time while the sun's out and you can see. Do everything you can. If you wanted to go out and observe things, you'd want to do that in the daytime, wouldn't you? Like when you can see properly. I don't know many people who go on a night walk for sightseeing unless it was specifically nocturnal wildlife or something. Yes, Melbourne. 100% Melbourne. Melbourne, Victoria. And I've just shifted over because we're getting off at Port Melbourne very soon. Switching over. Yes, so here's my wish, guys. For you guys to, I want you to, if you can, if you believe in love, I want you to have some in your life and feel it. I think that we're not the same without it. It's a difficult thing to keep and a difficult thing to maintain, but it's worth it. Whereas wars and conflicts and fighting and hatred, these are things you can continually grow, but that's very bad to do. It's not going to help at all. Like, so early. Yeah, I'm at work. Going to start now. Almost. A few seconds, I'll be there. Yeah. So yeah, get out there. Look, even if you don't have a job, look, there were times I spent a long time standing too far away from your Razu. I know hey, Darren, Tigerland. I missed you, man. No, I know I've been making little tiger stickers and putting them different random places. Because I think sometimes that's a way of oh, the razor. Yeah, I know. I apologize for it. It's shocking, isn't it? Shocking. I hate having this beard. In fact, it shouldn't be here, because tomorrow at this time this thing will grow back and itch me, and it will be time for it to go. I can't live with the itch. There's nothing like feeling itchy all the time. It's horrible. So nah, it's going. It should have gone, and I didn't do it because I had a disorganized weekend. I didn't do near enough that I needed to. Yeah, so guys, I know it sounds a bit corny, but love is a good thing. It really is. I know it doesn't sound very manly, you know, to say let's all like try and nurture that love inside us and grow it if we can outside us too, you know. sounds a little bit flowery, but no, I do believe men love flowers too. It's good to see flowers, isn't it? Even if you're not into flowers. I know, thanks Darren, I know I look like an old man. That's true, I do. That's where the Magpie comes from, the black and white hair, you know, kind of old guy. That's the coolest name an old guy could come up with. Being old. I should make a range of, maybe I think we should make fun of being old so that people can not get old, you know, like I'm not old, shut up, like no one wants to be old, you know. Can't we just like not get old by our attitude, you know? Wouldn't that be great? I'd love it. I'd love it if we could just say, nah, I don't believe in getting old, you know, like I said, like, oh, do you believe in, you know, reincarnation or something? And people go, nah. Simple. And in the same way, you could say, hey, do you believe in getting old? And people go, nah, I don't think it happens. Thanks, Darren. Yes, I'm going to have a great day. You too. I want you all to have a great day. I love this. I'm so glad I came back. And I don't know why I was missing for days, because I always think, oh, I felt that, you know, I haven't got much. Mid-30s? Oh, God. I'm turning 5. I'm turning 50 very soon. I'm counting down. I'm seeing the end of 49. I'm seeing the end of it. But I'm not going to get old. I've made that decision. Let's do that, guys. 55, Darren. See, I'm just here, man. You're like my big bro. I'm just like 5 years away. In fact, we could have gone to the same school for a bit. Yeah, 5. Yeah, a bit. Like you would have been 12, leaving primary school, and I would have been like grade 2, sort of. Yeah, wow, it's not far, is it? It's not far off. I've been close to people near my age. That kind of, it always works, you know. And like the real magic also is getting to know the younger generation. And I don't mean too young. I mean the new adults who are around, and they have a new point of view. I've noticed that I have become a bit of a dinosaur in comparison to the perspectives I'm seeing. Cricket. Oh, I have watched cricket. I don't actively watch it though, I have to be honest. It's very long game. But yeah, I do watch it. I remember those times when it was really hot weather and there was nothing to do but get indoors and shut the curtains and watch cricket in the dark in summer because it's so hot outside. That was a good time. I loved that. That was, to me, that whenever I think of watching cricket, I think of that time at my grandma's house and all the curtains were shut. That's right. That's right. And I try to wake them up into a real conversation, and there isn't much of one because the new generation have a different point of view to us oldies who were brought up on being introduced to others and talking and getting to know handshaking and this kind of thing. And we don't know what to do in this world. We can't shake each other's hands, so we're just waving them about and making crazy videos. But no, I think that you guys have helped me get so much courage. I didn't have it before. I was shit scared to ever do something like this, but now I feel like I love it. I just love it. In fact, I wouldn't be the person I am without all of you here, and I love you a lot. And I have to go to work because they're watching me now. Bye, everyone. Take care, all right? I'll be back.